Hi everyone! Today a scammer messaged me on Facebook. Scammers can be easily identified by the way they type and are abusing pictures of innocent people who have nothing to do with the scam. The goal of a scammer is to win your trust and will eventually ask you for gift cards, usually Google Play or iTunes. A scammer will often contact you out of the blue. They will find you on public posts on Facebook, like when you leave a comment on an article from the BBC or PETA, to name a few. And with that out of the way, let's introduce you to our army man. He is on a peacekeeping mission in Yemen. Yeah, sure, buddy. Our man starts out with the usual chit-chat. He says, "Nice name. I saw your profile from my Facebook friend suggestion. I learned that your country is such a beautiful and large place with different culture and creativity." And then he goes on to ask me about the weather in the Netherlands. I say it's lovely. How is it in the US? He says, "Nice to know about your weather condition over there. The world is wonderfully made by God." That's also something scammers do. They're always a Christian. We continue with the boring, random chit-chat. He mentions he is a general, and he asks me, "I want to know if you have encountered chat with any US Army or general on here before." I can say I have. And he continues, "I am a widower, with one son, Harry. I lost my wife on our birthday, in a car accident, on our way home coming back from work. May her soul rest in peace." A sad, common scammer story. He goes on, "My son is studying in a boarding school in London. His class teacher looks and cares after him till my mission here is over. I work presently in Yemen on a peacekeeping mission, authorized by the United Nations due to the war and terrorism here." But let's skip to the good part, shall we? After some talking and, quote-unquote, getting to know each other, he has a request. He says, "Will you be able to get me something at the grocery store on your way home?" I tell him, "But of course. Do you need a gift card?" Winky face. That startled him a little, and he took a little while to respond. And he asks me, "Yes, if that's good with you. But how do you know I wanted a gift card?" I tell him, "You're far away. What else am I going to buy you? Bananas? They'll be rotten by the time they arrive there." "Ha ha ha, you are funny, dear." "So, will you be able to get me any on your way home?" "But of course, hon." "Shall I get you a Google Play card? And what amount shall I put on it?" After a few minutes, he asks for 100 euros. Now I should tell you, during our chit-chat, I made up a story. I'm a successful businesswoman who just made a huge promotion, and thus, I tell him, "Darling, darling, why so shy and modest? Didn't I tell you I just made a promotion? I'll be giving you 500. I wish I could have seen his face when he read that. I bet he had a big evil grin on there. He said, "Oh, I am overwhelmed, dear, with your kind of generosity. Thanks. When do I get it? Although we just met, with the step of trust and willingness to begin this friendship. Okay." And I tell him, "Anything for you, dear. I know we just met, but I can tell you're a good and honest man, and I'd love to help you. Message me back in a few hours." I quickly Photoshop a random picture of a Google Play card and I send it to him, making Mr. Scammer believe that I actually went to a store and bought a card worth 500 euro. So he happily says, "That's good. Hope to get the goat soon, as you get home." "How long time to get home from work, dear?" And I tell him, "I'm back in my car now. It should take me 10 to 15 minutes to get home, depending on traffic." "Okay. You can take a picture of the code inside the car. Are you driving home now? I'm not responding. No, you evil cockroach. You will wait in anticipation. A while later, I return, telling him I'm home. And he says, that's good to know. What are you doing at the moment? And I tell him I'm making a cup of tea. And meanwhile, you can tell me about your day and what you're going to spend the money on. My day is just fine, he tells me. Just finished calling my son. I'm going to send it to Harry, his son, to get a new game. I say, that's great. What games does he like? He tells me video games. And I ask him what video games. But suddenly he doesn't like all the random chit-chat anymore. He has one focus, the card, the code. He must have it. The excitement is getting to him. Eagerly, he tells me, send me the card now. I will be going for dinner soon. So I tell him, yes, I'll go scratch it. But I take my time, which is something our dear scammer doesn't have. He can smell those 500 euros. He is so close to getting his greasy hands on them. So he tells me again, is the card scratched yet? Hey dude, I'm working on it. Stop rushing me. And he says, sorry about that. Just don't want to miss dinner. But then, oh dear. And he says, yes. Look what you made me do by rushing me. I scratched too fast. I hope you can still use it. And I sent him a picture. And to point out the obvious, this is fake. But he thinks it's real. And surprisingly, he tells me, yes, I can manage. I was a little surprised and taken back by that, but I said, okay, I'm glad. But of course, a few seconds later, he tells me, what's the first letter? You can try to get another photo, dear. But I tell him, I don't know, dear. I wanted to get the code to you fast, since you're in a rush. And I made a mistake by scratching too hard, I think. And he says, sorry about that. Try to check again for me, dear. But I say, nah, I think I ruined it. I have to get back to the store. The first letters are gone, I'm afraid. And he says, oh, that's not good. And I tell him, it's terrible. And then he asks, snap closer, so let me see if I can get any number there. What do you want to do about it now? So I cropped that picture, that same picture, and made a few little edits in it, and I told him. I tried to make a close-up, and I scratched it a little more. It's destroyed, sad face. I have to go back to the store. Can you see anything? As I send him the picture. And he says, no. Okay, try to drive back to the store before it's closed. You can easily get another change for another there. Really sorry for the stress. And I tell him, I will need to make some dinner first. I can't think on an empty stomach. This is so bad. It's 500 euros, sad face. And he says, I feel bad too, sad face. When does the store close? And I tell him, don't worry, dear. I will fix this. I will ask a few friends. Maybe they can help. And he says, friends to help return the card, or what? Just try to go back to the store before it locks. I don't know, but I can ask them if they see the missing numbers. And I could tell them about meeting you. Now, scanners really don't want their victims to contact friends or family while they are working on their scam, as people who are close to the victim could expose the scam. So he says, they can see the missing number. You can get a replacement at the store, dear. Just go there, change it, and avoid other stress. But I say, okay, I will hurry and make dinner first. And he says, when is the store closing? Try to get there before the store closes. You had a cup of tea not quite long ago. Please, dear, you can manage with that. Go to the store first and have dinner when you are back. But it's fine if you want dinner first. So what are you having for dinner? What's your favorite meal? And that's where I left him, eagerly waiting for his 500 euros, expecting me to go back to the store. I can pick this up later, telling him I fell asleep after dinner, or I can block him. Let me know what you think. Either way, this has been entertaining to me, so I thought I'd share. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.